Hello everyone, it's Richard Lewis here again with another video, and today I'm putting out the video I said I was going to do on the most recent episode of By the Numbers, and that is to basically make you aware of something that's going on in the competitive Counterstrike circuit that I think we need to talk about as a community. It's regarding rules for one of the upcoming regional major ranking events. Obviously, these are essentially the qualifiers for the World Championships, the major that's coming up in Rio. And I think that there is something going on right now that they're trying to sneak past the people that are running this tournament. It's obviously as well coming from the kind of aftermath of all of this Chaos versus MIBR drama. I don't want to rehash all of that, but for those that missed it, basically MIBR played Chaos, a sort of up-and-coming North American team. MIBR are terrible. MIBR lost. Gaules, who was streaming the game, he's like the Portuguese language streamer for most big broadcasts, basically said that at least two of the players on Chaos were cheating because how else could anyone beat MIBR? Meanwhile, now they can't even beat like Whistler Krakow, and they've lost a bunch of games as well to far worse opposition than Chaos. And as a result of that, two kids have had their reputations completely ruined. In fact, I have people, even now, like messaging me going, oh yeah, what MIBR did was wrong, but Leaf definitely cheated and all this. It's really pathetic. But anyway, I've talked enough about that and written enough about that. But anyway, the upshot was, Gaules, despite this terrible behavior and sort of what he contributed to in the scene, was given a bunch of contracts from like DreamHack, ESL, and essentially Valve because they're letting him run one of the regional major ranking events with his company. Now, they are still mad, insanely butthurt about MIBR versus Chaos. I mean, what you'll notice is they've never recanted it. They've never said, yeah, actually, in retrospect, we just were a little bit hysterical. No one was actually cheating in that game. They still essentially have the veneer, the pretense, if you like, that that was a game where people cheated. It's absurd. But now that belief has started to spill over into actual rules that Gaules' company is setting for the tournament, and that is in this TriboToMajor tournament. Here it is announced here. You can see, this is on HLTV, reported by Lewis Mira, that the TriboToMajor qualifier has all these regional major ranking points up for grabs in South America. You can see Gaules TV making the announcement, TriboToMajor. This is an official qualifier with major points up for grabs. Now, what's the problem? I mean, how could an unrelated game between MIBR and Chaos have impacted on the rules for the TriboToMajor, you might ask? Well, very good question. If you go to the official website, TriboToMajor, like I did, you can download the rule book. Incredibly, there's no English equivalent. I suppose it's not that incredible if it is a South American qualifier, but it might be nice for people to have a look at it and sort of be able to read it in another language besides Portuguese. But anyway, I downloaded it and had a look and had it translated because I just had a feeling there would be some shenanigans going on. And lo and behold, there is a clause in there which no one should be signing off on. Valve shouldn't be okay with this. No tournament organizers should be okay with this. The community shouldn't be okay with this. It's absolutely one of the most pathetic and ridiculous things I think I've ever heard in a serious tournament. Now, understand, if this wasn't linked to the major, I'd just laugh it off probably, but it is linked to the major, and I take everything that relates to the major very seriously, as I'm sure you guys know. For me, it's the pinnacle of Counter-Strike. It's the esport I love, and I don't want anyone doing anything that impacts on the competitive integrity of the major and potentially creates issues down the line for teams that have maybe genuinely qualified. Here's what I'm talking about. This is clause 10 in that rulebook. Cheating a fraud. I will translate what this says for you now. It says, considering that all matches from the tournament, TriboToMajor, will be realized by the Gamers Club platform. That is, by the way, a platform owned by the Immortals Gaming Club. It was a business that was owned by Fallen. Immortals Gaming Club essentially purchased it and went in with him on it. That is problematic in and of itself, but whatever. The tournament TriboToMajor will be realized by the Gamers Club platform. All players must utilize the Gamers Club anti-cheat to play on the servers. Also, Gamers Club anti-cheat has been accused of putting malware on your PC. So, fantastic. Great job all around. In case of anything suspect, there will be a need to make a complaint at contato@gamersclub.com.br with the link of the match player profile. All complaints will be analysed by a specific evaluation committee in a max time frame of 5 business days. In case there is a unanimous decision of the board members, the player will be banned for a period of 9,999 days. By participating in the tournament, you agree that this decision is absolute and indisputable, and this commission is totally competent to define if players are or are not cheating. All accounts related with this player, cheater or fraudster, will be banned. All accounts created in future by this player will be banned. Teams that have players banned for cheating will be automatically disqualified. So I'm sure immediately you guys can see the problem here. What they've done is, because they are so insanely delusional about what happened in the MIBR Chaos game, they have now, for the South American qualifier, Gaules has essentially brought in a rule that says, essentially, a bunch of people you don't know get to decide and dictate if you are cheating in this tournament. If we say you are, you agreed to this, and there will be no appeals. P.S. You will never know who made this decision against you. Now, it's essentially a kangaroo court, and that's fine. If you want to run your business like that, I imagine people would just eventually get sick of it if there was a spate of unfair bannings or anything that looked like a conflict of interest. But again, this is for the fucking major. Everyone is co-signing this when they work with Gaules on this particular tournament. And I think this rule is awful. Think about what it could potentially mean. It could be that we don't know what type of clandestine politics and biases are going on in the South American Counterstrike scene. I've seen enough to have my stomach permanently turned, frankly, with just the antics of MIBR and Gaules in the build-up to making this video. So I have no idea if these people on this panel that Gaules has put together can be trusted, or who's to say that maybe one of the teams that plays in that competition, because it's 512 teams, by the way, has some players on it that guys have always been a bit suspicious about. People talk, right? People spread rumors. So maybe these guys now finally have an opportunity to act upon those rumors and disqualify people from the tournament. Well, that's not fucking fair, is it? I mean, that's outrageous. And I can't believe that we've gone so far backwards, basically because MIBR lost the game. I mean, this is what it all boils down to. To put it in context, if Chaos had beaten MIBR in a tournament run with these rules, they would have disqualified Chaos and permanently labelled Zeppa and Leaf as cheaters for life with no chance of appeal, and that would hover over them for the rest of their professional careers. That's ridiculous. And again, the standard has to be so much higher because we are talking about a major. There is now essentially a backdoor where an up-and-coming South American team, Argentinian team, let's say, that no one's heard of, gets a bunch of good results. They can have it taken away based on the eye test, which is like, we used to do that in 2003, 2004, and that was fine because the tech wasn't there, but we've evolved a little bit since then. And if we have to say, if you get past an anti-cheat and, It's just a couple of one or two suspect moments like the Leaf and separate things. The benefit of the doubt has to be applied. You have to be innocent until proven guilty. You cannot ruin someone's reputation because the team you thought were favourites lost the fucking game of Counterstrike. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I don't know if Valve are aware of this. I don't know if they understand how different that is to every other qualifier, every other regional major ranking tournament. There hasn't been a single one that has anything comparable to this for obvious reasons. And somebody should put their foot down about it and say, listen, Gowles, we understand your boys lost the game of Counter-Strike to, a team that was 30th in the world back then. If only you could beat the 30th team in the world right now at MIBR. But you can't just create Kangaroo courts for all your tournaments when you partner with us, Valve. Do it whenever. Do it on your own time. Do it for your own little competitions, but not for the major. And I just think, in light of everything else that's going on right now, at the time of recording this, there's a bunch of other stories. I honestly, I'm just getting so embarrassed about some of the antics that are going on in this online era, and the way people seem to have just lost their goddamn minds, like it's an extension of quarantine fever. It's ridiculous. This rule should not be in any serious tournament, let alone with no appeal and you don't know who's doing it. What the fuck is this? It's outrageous. So once again, of course, Gowles, great guy, love him. Basically creating backdoors for his friends and associates to potentially get through competitions. Fine on your time, not for the major. Yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about this one. Just a quick one anyway. I thought I'd make you guys all aware about it. There's some big stories. I really got to get back to the drawing board and get some more videos out. But I wanted to get this one out the way. As always, thanks a lot for following, subscribing. We had another spike in numbers again. I do really appreciate it. Leave a comment down there for the algorithm. And follow me on all of this social stuff that's popping up on the screen now. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.